Previously on Twilight's Edge. Deciding to ambush the prisoner of transport at the bridge leading to the Citadel Revad, our party springs an electrical trap and engages hellknights and a cleric of Asmodeus. Though some of our protagonists briefly knock at Pharasma's door, our band overcomes their foes through the power of planning and teamwork. But have they freed the prisoners they were looking for?
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of Twilight's Edge on Tumble Through!
Tumble Through!
I am your host and GM, Krifu Bernal, pronouns he, him, and yeah, we had quite the fight last time. Went a little long, but I think it was a great time had by all.
Yeah, time went off without a hitch.
Except the hellknights.
Although they
Oh
did
yeah,
not
they
have
had
a
a
good
bad
time.
time, yeah.
Maybe
Absolutely.
they liked it. They had a good time. I'm not going to shame anyone. So,
Oh, we could always,
don't know what they're
ask them.
into.
It is true, they all had those, the armor that's not very protective, so maybe that is something they're into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
fist-shaped holes.
Mm-hmm.
Person putting fists into fist-shaped holes. Hi, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I am playing Sombra, whose pronouns are she, they. Sombra is a fetchling or Kayal monk.
Hi, I am Anna. I use them pronouns, and I'm playing Lowen, he, they pronouns, who is a Hellspawn Nephilim wizard. And he had a lot of fun fighting last time.
Edgelord.
Yes. Absolutely. No. Actually, I think we said that he's a cool wizard. So, like,
Oh, right.
yeah.
It's not really kind of like a regular wizard.
Yeah, he's a cool wizard.
I'm not like those other wizards.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Evan, pronouns he, him, and I'm playing Nico, the Rainfall Orc from the Mwangi Expanse, who's a druid. Also he, him. And he's got a little familiar as well, but you'll find out about him later.
Hello, I'm Marcus, pronouns are he, him, and I play Zekun, pronouns he, him as well, the Grave Orc, Oracle, and Medic of the party.
Hi, I'm Pan, the he, they, she, and I play Flint, he, him. Flint is the party's ruffian rogue, and also Datari, which is effectively a copper in this world. He had a bit of a spill last session, but he's back up and ready to go this week, so let's get to it.
Those lights are reacting to your voice behind you.
They are, isn't it fancy?
Oh, that's so cool. I didn't see that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
OMG.
I need that.
I'm just waiting to get my entire Razor YouTuber blinged out. I'll beat Evan one day.
when you said that Flint was Dataria, a copper in these parts, I immediately thought ADAB.
I love that. I did that. That's funny.
Sorry.
I mean, to be fair, Flint is probably like a proper bastard, but
Yeah.
not in necessarily the way that.
No
saying-
donut for Flint.
Doesn't even let you look at oranges. Let alone
I mean,
eat one.
if you're lucky, you'll see an orange one day.
Yeah.
Evan, did you Kia ora? I thought you said hello.
I
And I thought I missed your Kia ora.
No, I didn't say Kia ora tonight. Kia ora, everyone.
man.
Good to be here, Koi. I'm Evan. I'm from Aotearoa, New Zealand. Represent the
I also
Māori. Let's
switched-
go.
Let's
Right
go.
there, yeah.
There was another Kiwi at the con, and I also switched my
I
lights.
did,
to
yeah, your
voice
lights
I
are
was
down.
gonna say,
I
what's
just like
that?
trying to outdo me with flashing lights. What?
Yeah.
Give us some words, Anna.
What kind of words would you like to be hearing?
Oh my gosh, this is like a robot.
I'm
now.
giving my
It's like a little
husband
rave there.
But yeah, the lights flash so
the
fast it
lights.
looks like there's a rave in a thunderstorm.
Yeah.
Should be a nope, turning off. Bye.
As I was saying at the top of the episode, it is refreshing having enemies on the battlefield after the initiative ends that are still alive, unconscious, but undefeated, but still on the living side of things. Not that necessarily these hellknights deserve to live, which is a question I think that will come up during this scene. But our party has gathered around the back of the carriage the hellknights were driving to Citadel Revad, and the rest of the team, the other concerned citizens, are making their way towards you from beyond where they had set that trap. When we open the carriage door, and there are two familiar-ish for some of you, figures inside. One of them is a smaller female kobold. Pan, would you mind describing Marble for those of us who haven't met her yet?
Sure, if you'd have let me open up my sheet with a description on it, but Marble is a kobold of a similar kind of like hue to Flint, but where you can see that Flint's obviously been a lot of scraps, his scales are dulled and scratched up in places. Marble's are pristine. She obviously looks like herself a lot more than he does. That said, she's, for a kobold, and those who have seen kobolds, a bit larger than normal. It's obvious from looking at the two of them now that the two of them are simply more attuned to like physical labor, maybe in their youth, and that's why they're a little more bulky. Marble also has a necklace around her neck, which is adorned with like leaves and like trinkets and such. She's wearing the robes of the archives, I assume.
Archon Anthology.
Yeah, she's wearing her robes of the Archon Anthology, but she also has a fanny pack at the front as well, which is probably not seen better times, but she's got it there. It's her own personal edition.
She's sitting on a small wooden chest. It looks like she's been like holding on to the sides of it as whatever was just happening was happening. There was like hellknights jumping off and onto the carriage. A bomb went off on top of the carriage at one point, at the very beginning, actually. But across from her, seated on the ground, we see a tanned Ayuvaran man, a half-elf with long brown hair, who is... All he's wearing is... In fact, I think the leather armor, Sombra, that you saw him wearing yesterday has been stripped off of him, and he's just wearing like his regular street clothes. And he looks... While Marble looks tired and a little afraid as you open the doors, Ariel looks beaten to an inch of his life. He has one hit point left. He's covered in bruises, has a busted lip, maybe a broken nose, blood all over the front of his clothes. And he sort of opens it, like they both wince as the doors open. And he's about to croak something out when Marble goes, "Oh my gosh," and jumps out and runs straight to you, Flint, and gives you a big hug.
Yeah, Flint grabs her in a big hug.
Flint, I don't understand. What's happened? Why are you here?
I'm here for you. Everyone else here as well. We came to stop the hellknights and save you. Are you okay? Did they hurt you? He looks beat to shit. You're okay though, right? And he starts like check her all over.
I'm all right, but that guy, he's fucked up.
All right, okay, all right. Do you need anything? You okay?
She nods and then shakes her head. I'm fine.
All right, okay. Sit there, right, where I can see you.
The Iovaran man, Ariel, who Sombra knows at least, the rest of you probably figure this is Ariel who you were coming to save, sort of cracks his eyes open. Sombra?
Sombra scampers over to the carriage after she had finished beating down that other priest. Looks in. Shit. Okay, you're alive. Fuck, thank God you're alive. Sombra offers an arm down to the other kobold, asking for her to like get out of the carriage so she can start to help Ariel out to stretch him flat to inspect.
Oh yeah, Marble's jumped down and ran over to Flint. So he takes your arm and sort of pulls himself up. And as he does, the rest of the team runs up, and you see Genevan like push her way through the others. As she sees the condition he's in, she almost pulls back instinctively and then like closes her eyes and pushes forward and takes him from you and holds him. She goes, "Ariel." And he lifts up a hand to brush her cheek and says, "My starlight." And you can see the rest of the team as they run up are beaming ear to ear as they look upon these two who start a long, deep kiss of reunion.
That's beautiful, but we probably shouldn't stick around.
Can we heal this fella up, maybe?
I got something for that. And Zekun steps closer and, utilizing my nudge the scales feat, I give some of my life force over to Marble, and if necessary to Ariel as well. To
Marble's
just
good.
Yeah, Marble's
It's
okay.
Just Ariel.
Yeah, Ariel's
Ariel.
buggered.
I'm going to be watching carefully what happens when Zikun casts this. I'm going to be studying this.
It's just carefully putting a hand on Ariel's shoulder, and there is a warm, yellowish glow coming from his hand. Ariel's face is flushed with a bit more life, a bit more energy, while once again Zekun loses some of the color on him. But he smiles and then turns to the rest of the group and says, "Shouldn't linger around too long indeed. These hellknights could get up any moment again."
One moment, I would like to try something. And Lowen goes over to the cleric that's unconscious. And he's going to pull off what's it called?
Whoa, easy, Lauren.
His helmet?
no,
Oh, easy, Clifford.
Holy
yeah, he's
symbol?
got a helmet.
Oh,
He's got a helmet. Yeah, he's gonna grab his helmet and he's gonna put his hand on it and he's gonna cast sigil to mark it. So there will be just an invisible sigil that I guess only he kind of can see and figure out. And
How does
he
this
might
look as you do this?
How does it look? I think Lowen just puts his hand on top of the helmet, and is like a kind of ember smolder like in the air. And as he removes, it's almost like it's branded in, like with what's the word? Like a brand mark. And it's funny because it's invisible to everyone else, but he can see that. That it just in diabolic it just reads I'll see you soon. And he'll put he just has it there, and he puts it, I think he puts it back on his head, just so he can if they were to later encounter him and might not recognize him, he would at least be able to see that there's a mark on his helmet and be like, okay, that's the guy. And
can you track that as well or not?
I don't know, but I think it's more about you recognizing.
Just recognizing it. Okay.
Yeah, because you cannot track it,
Fair
but
enough.
it's more just about recognizing. Because obviously, a lot of these some of the clerics might look the same from a distance. And I think he's gonna do the same for the cart, with the horses. Gonna put the same kind of. It's different. This time it's just an arcane symbol. The little text was just to fuck around with the guy.
It actually said GG easy.
yeah, exactly. He's gonna do the same with the cart, so they could, if for example this cart would come by again, they would know that maybe the people on it were involved with this ambush and to be extra careful around them. So yeah, he's gonna just mark those two things.
Cool.
Oh, once he's done, he will turn to the others like, okay, that's it. I think we should go.
And let them breathe.
I'm with Sombra on this. At the very most, we need one for questioning. The rest, we don't need any more witnesses.
We got what we needed here for. This is the goal of the mission. We should head back.
Your friends have all been seen, though. So have we. Now, I'm all for questioning and then, humanely dealing with the problem, but it's a problem nonetheless.
What information do you think you can get from them?
Why they are doing this, where they're taking them, how we can stop them.
Ariel speaks. I can tell you why. The Order of the Rack has had their sights on me for a while. I've been a little too loud in my recruitment efforts. And he kind of looks ashamed as Genevan shakes her head like it's like an old argument that they've had, but she smiles and says, "I'm just glad to have you back."
Then we have the information. We have the people we came to rescue. No more blood has to be shed today.
Fine, I'll do this without blood. And Sabra walks over and at the downed priest, it's going to give a satisfying, non-lethal kick to the ribs.
Great.
So what do we do when they wake up and report back that we killed half of them and left the others to run back home? I'm already going to have a target on my head. I'm sure all of you lot would like smaller targets, perhaps.
Oh, I already have plenty. Don't worry about it. It will just be one tad today.
That's sort of my profession.
I think this is a problem that we can figure out without killing people.
Then at least tie him up or something. I turned to what do you lot usually do with your prisoners of war?
Most of them look to Genevan and Ariel. Genevan says, "We've never done anything like this before. Without you, I don't think this would have been possible. I mean, Ariel and I, we can hold our own, but the rest of us..."
Well, how about we throw them in the back of the cart and then lock it and then leave?
That sounds like a good compromise.
Sure.
Hold on. They can also fund some extra pay hours we've put in. And Sombra starts shaking down, taking off anything that isn't connected by skin to the priest.
That's a good point. I think, especially the priest.
Yeah, these guys owe us. We're not going to be doing it for them.
I've been playing TTRPG so long, but the instinct to loot is just never coming up for me. I'm glad there's other people who think about this.
Yeah. Let's.
Well, mechanically speaking, if they have things like keys or to get out or weapons that they're going to come run hunt after us, they're going to run slower if they're in their birthday suits.
Yeah, throw their shit in the river. All their gear we don't want, just toss it in the river to go downstream.
Marble pipes up. They've got some pretty nice stuff in that chest.
All right,
You
sounds
should
good.
take it.
Yeah.
The chest's a little too big to take, but you can unlock it with
Let's
one
pop
of the
that bad boy
keys.
open.
Yeah.
But we have horses nearby.
I think we'd be better off just opening just taking what's good. We don't need the chest.
Hey, Zakun, I'm glad you said something because I wasn't happy about just straight up murdering people.
I think the concerns are valid, but I think there are other solutions for this.
Yeah, you're right.
These soldiers, they were doing a mission. Doesn't make them immediately guilty of what they're doing.
Flint, I think he's still with Marble and going through stuff possibly, but he does look up and he says, "So as long as the mission actions don't necessarily mean that you agree with them, right?"
I feel you're oversimplifying this for the sake of conflict, Flint.
Oh, no,
Spit it
no,
out what you
please.
want to say.
I'm just saying, I didn't come in here to leave a bunch of people who could finger me later on. I appreciate that you two have your complications about the business of the day. But my interest is in being able to see tomorrow and the day after. My interest is not inviting retaliation by letting them go back home and telling people. Now, I understand that as a group, we have decided that we are going to incapacitate these fellas, lock them in here, and send them on their way. Got it. Fine. But keep in mind, every one of these guys you leave breathing is a target on our
And
backs.
every one of these guys that you slay only fuels the cycle of retaliation. I've been part of that cycle many a time, Kobold.
Flint bristles. Yeah. It all comes out in the end. Orcs and humans. It doesn't make a difference. You're all the same.
Whoa. We are not all the same like that. What is wrong with you?
Really?
I said yous, both of you.
Two of the team members pipe up at the same time and sort of look at each other. One is Jacopulio, the gnomish woman. And the other is Fiosa, the halfling woman. They sort of look at each other. And Fiosa sort of she gets Jaco sort of shoots her a dirty look, and Fiosa kind of shies back a little bit and lets Jaco speak. "I'm with the copper on this one. Sorry, I know what it's like to be the logical one in the group, and it's pretty logical. We gotta kill them." "But no," Fiosa says. "Listen, the Order of the Rack, they're gonna be so humiliated by this. I promise you, all of my intel says they'll sweep this under the rug, and they won't want to admit what happened."
All right. How about this? Why don't we just ask one?
If they want to die or live.
If they're going to forget about this.
They're just gonna lie to keep themselves alive. They'll say whatever they want to say.
And Jaco shakes her head. "I wouldn't give anyone a better chance to look at your face, friend."
Yeah, you make a fair point. Look, I'm a copper. I'm used to people being out to get me. I don't know about you lot, except Lowen obviously seems to be quite involved in that. I'm happy to do whatever is easier on everyone's consciences. We don't even have to do any more of this afterwards. I got my sister, you've got your friend. I'm sorry it came to bloodshed, but it was them or us, and it remains them or us.
He's right, Genevan says. "Jaco, Fiosa, work to make them as humiliated as possible. And the two other women sort of nod and begin like stripping down the hellknights, dumping their armor in the river, tying
Yeah,
them all together,
wonderful.
putting them in the carriage, and
Taking
then
pictures.
smacking the horses to like run
Oh, and
off.
how many more times can you use that sigil thing? I'm just wondering if you could mark a bunch of these guys.
I mean, I could try, yes. Wouldn't be, I mean...
Hold on,
I'm
now I have
assuming
to
they
look
also
up
have-
the spell.
Well,
It's
I
a-
think it's just, it says,
It's a
I don't think
cantrip.
it's a cantrip. It's so you can just
I mean, if it
spam
does
it.
humiliate them, let's really humiliate them,
I don't,
right?
yeah, I don't
You
think
could-
it
So
doesn't
it
mention...
does fade naturally. If it's on a
Over the
creature,
course
it
of a
fades
week.
over the course of a week.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
you
you
can
just-
heighten it, but I don't have that.
Oh no,
Those are-
having it fade over coffee is fine. That's still fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
Those are small fry. Those are gooks.
Yeah.
Listen,
Yeah.
it feels weird to say that I absolutely see the middle of this. Sometimes it is absolutely easier to just hide. And if you can't do that, well, get good, frankly. But there are times where it's them or you. And my choice will always be me.
Yes.
We have a choice here. Great. Fine. That's ideal. That's not very common, actually, in my line of work. But some asshole comes in, flaming armor, dedicating not just following orders, but taking joy in cutting down people's lives, liberty. It's going to be no accident when I absolutely take their last breath.
You see, this is your line of work, but you seem to knock them unconscious quite easily. Do you have to make that decision regularly?
I'm very good at running and hiding.
I look at all the punched out dudes and go, I guess, if you don't need to do your usual.
Do with them what you want, then put them into the cart, into the wagon, and then let us return.
Let us return.
Aye, fair.
Okay.
Dibs
So-
on anything shiny.
Yeah, so as I mentioned, Fiosa, Yako, and the rest all help to undress them, tie them up, put them in the carriage.
Little quick
Further-
above the table check-in. Everyone at the table fine with Zekun being a little bit
Yeah.
pushing here? Just quick above
Yeah.
the table.
Yeah.
I
Check
Ida
me.
especially.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
been that role
Okay.
before as well. I get it.
Yeah, especially Pan.
Yeah.
Pan, you okay with Zekun being a little bit up in your character's face?
No,
With,
it's fine. As long as you don't mind getting it back. Flint's
No, that's
used to
perfect,
people
perfect.
giving it, so he gives it back.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
sorry,
Okay.
Creeper.
No, it's
Very
good. Good for
good.
checking in.
Yeah, nice.
So as they're getting all the Hell Knights ready to humiliate them, we open up the chest and we can see several things in it. First off, 15 silver. This is all in the party stash, FYI. A unusual short sword, which means it's a magic short sword. There's a rune glowing on it. There was a healer's toolkit on Shanwen, so I took that off of him. Between Shanwen and the rest of the armigers, there were 6 minor healing potions.
Nice.
In the chest, there were also 2 glow rods, a magic
what's-
scroll.
What's a glow? Sorry.
Literally, it's a
The glow stick.
glow stick. Yeah, you just bang it. And
Yeah.
It's a giant glow
Yeah.
stick. Excellent.
It's a giant. It's a 1 foot long gold tipped
That's pretty
glow stick.
long.
West
Gold
Crown
tipped
has the
glow
best
stick?
illegal raves.
Yeah.
Let's go.
There's also a 4-piece jewelry set. Let's say like a necklace, 2 earrings, and I don't know, a tiara. And a mayoral letter. You know it's mayoral because it's in an envelope with Mayor Arvanchi Iberian, his like sigil on it.
Ooh, I've been casually already been reading like we have
Yeah, I
it
was
in
just
there.
reading
I've been
it.
reading it. Like this is spicy.
You see Sombra just sort of like moving her arm through the stash, and you hear the clinking of bottles, you hear the shifting of the metal, and she picks up this parchment with the seal, looks at everyone, cocks an eyebrow, and you hear the wax seal pop open, and she reads it.
Go for it.
Esteemed Lictor Darcene Renz, I write to you once again in the hope that my earlier correspondence has not gone overlooked. There is an ever-pressing need for Hell Knight intervention in the Regocator, especially against the bandit group known as the Bastards of Erebus. Their brazen attacks have contributed to increase within city limits, and Duxutar Iltis Batharis reports that considerable unrest among our citizens is growing daily. Furthermore, intelligence from the Duxatars Rundatari report that several small communities are building within Regocator. I urge your order to give more resources towards canvassing the ruins to ensure we do not allow unwelcome presences to fester. In the service of order and welfare of our city, Aberian Arvaxi, Mayor of West Crown, giant, enormous douche at Sombra.
He's inviting the Hell Knights into the city to do our jobs. My job, not your jobs.
Yes, you're the victim here.
The point is...
Lowen laughs at that.
Flint shoots Sombra a look and carries on. My point is that the Hell Knights are being allowed into the city en masse. It sounds like he's asking for more of them.
Technically, Fiosa, it was like listening in as she's taking someone's armor off. Technically, the Hell Knights are already allowed in the city. They have Terranic House, which is their base of operations. And as the House Thrune has allowed them to basically be the law keepers for this region, they can technically come and go as they want, as long as it's within the bounds of law.
Sure, but if the mayor's going to give them more powers, we're going to see a lot more problems like this.
Because someone else is fucking being way too loud.
Who are the bastards of Erebus?
A gang that's been coming up recently. They seemed like a small problem before. Jacopurio brought it up to me, but sounds like they're a lot more of an issue if even the Hell Knights have been brought in for it.
VT comes over to you, Nico, and says, is the mayor worried about... I mean, he mentioned communities building with... I mean, that's the Arboretum.
Yeah, that is the Arboretum.
You don't think the Hell Knights would...
Well, it sounds like he's very concerned about it and is sending them down to stamp out these small communities.
We gotta do something.
Well, first we're going to
do
leave
something.
and discuss this elsewhere, where
Agreed.
we're not, at a crime scene of sorts.
Let's
Right.
toss these fools in the carriage and be on our way, eh?
Sombra nods as she's finishing taking off the socks of the priest and stuffing it in his unconscious mouth.
Did I also see there was something that says unusual scroll that wasn't there before, right, in the inventory?
Yeah, I mentioned there was a magic scroll in there as well.
Lowen would have, would have taken that if they were all taking stuff to put in their backpacks and stuff.
Does anyone mind if I go for the sword?
Yeah, we can.
Or was it fencing and sword?
Just to little bit above the table rules talk, I'm assuming this unusual means they have to be identified.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
and
but,
I think that, for example, Lowen might be able to identify that scroll, but I'm not sure if Flint will be able to identify the sword.
Yeah, I was more thinking that if we're gathering stuff to look at it later, Lone would have grabbed the scroll at least, and then we can all grab stuff now. But I think he just wanted his hands on that first.
We're gonna have a identify and chill session anyway later to get those things out.
Yeah, if it's in the party stash, we are already logistically taking it with us. We just haven't determined the division yet.
But Lowen would have specifically tried and grab, if we're all taking stuff, try and grab that before anyone else could, at least, or he would have tried.
You are saying you're dibsing it.
Yeah.
That sounds like dibs.
I think more from a perspective of him just being like, I know we're going to probably look at this a little later, but I want to look at this first. And that's why he took it.
Are we just going to pan away from the scene with someone of us like shutting the wagon and we see the inside shot with just like a pile of naked Dotari in the wagon?
I mean, Hell Knights.
Hell Knight. I'm sorry, that was so rude of me towards these Hell Knights.
No, the victims, the true victims.
Yeah.
I'm gonna unhitch the horses while everyone's doing that.
Yeah, good.
And take them or let them free.
Which one?
Oh, I'm gonna let them free. I'm gonna tell them you're free now. I'm gonna use my druid voice of nature. My druid voice of nature. It's a thing. It's a thing.
He just walks up and starts talking to horses, and we're just looking at it like, are you okay?
I do think you can talk to horses, actually.
You can.
Animals
That's pretty fun.
fun. Yeah, it says here.
Do you...
What does it sound like?
Is it Dr. Doolittle, or are you actually neighing? Does he neigh? I have no idea now.
Tell us, Evan.
Watch me whip, watch me nay. I go up and I whip my hair, and then I'll start neighing very gently to the horses. I'll do little hoof scratches in the dirt, up against the neck and ruffle the ears. And then you won't hear much because I'll be whispering it in their ears.
And they sort of they each take a turn from the side, look at you in the eye.
Mm-hmm.
And you can tell they're looking at you because their ears point in your direction. And one by one, they all it's almost like they're shaking your hand and then run off.
Yeah. I can imagine it's like Spirit, the movie Spirit. And they and they're free now. They dash across the plains.
The new guy who you met this morning, Gorvio, he's standing there slack-jawed, wow. You gotta teach me how you did that.
As long as it's for letting them free, I will.
Fair point. Okay, as you leave the scene, Gorvio informs you all that while he was able to borrow your horses for this morning, he does need you to return those horses for him to his uncle.
Cool.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Okay.
That's fair.
And Geneva and Ariel say, not a bad idea. We could take this chance to split up because this many people all riding into the city at the same time is going to look super suspicious.
Yeah, smart.
Hella sus.
Mm-hmm.
Hella sus indeed.
Right. Hellknights sus, yeah.
Yeah. So everybody says their farewells, and it is kind of weird. Okay, well, are we going to see each other again? I mean, where our hideout is now, so yeah, if you're left with an open invitation to come back to the Shrine of Eridan and talk further. I think Sombra even has some payment waiting for her.
Mm-hmm.
Lowen technically does too. I think he asked specifically for payment and information and favors, and they agree.
Okay, yeah. So you'll have to come back for that.
And also Morris is there anyway, so
I'll probably say goodbye as me and Viddy splitting up now.
Yeah, Viddy's going back with the rest of them.
Okay.
It's going to be the 5 of you left after this.
Okay. Well, I'll see you later. This is a lot today, but I'm gonna go back to Vitio's, get my food cart, and I'm probably gonna make my way up eventually back up to the Ramble Gardens and have a chat with them because I don't think they're safe up there, or at least keep an eye out for, White Chin and now hellknights. So yeah, I'm just gonna give them the heads up.
Viddy nods to you. Do you want to make plans to meet up again later? I don't know. I'm sure we've got some debriefing to do, but
no, not right, not especially right away. I'll just go. I'm gonna go and just sort some stuff out first.
okay. Well, I will see you around then.
Okay.
He looks super unsure as you walk away.
Flint looks at Marble and goes, that's ice cold.
It's not like that.
So Marble's going as well, right?
She's coming with you.
She's going with us. Okay, cool. All right, then. But Yakupudio's going.
She's probably riding on your horse with you.
Sure. If Yakupudio's going, though, I do want to thank her. So I'll go behind her. Yakupudio, listen, I really appreciate what you did. I can't tell you what this means. If you need anything, and I mean anything, call me. All right?
Well, I can't say I've ever had the favor of a Tatari before.
I take it back. Actually, now you're saying it like that, I feel like when I said double anything, if you just yeah, all right,
She
no,
smiles.
I owe you a favor, sure, yeah.
It's cool. And listen, if you need to relax, you've got an hour on me. Not with me, with one of my employees, but...
Yes. Good. Or beers.
Beers are good too.
All right. I'm going to give it I put my fist out for a fist bump.
Yeah, she gives you a fist bump back.
All right.
I think if we're riding back more calmly, because I don't think it doesn't sound like we're being in a rush or stealthy or anything. Lowen will pull up next to Sombra, and we'll say in Shadow Tongue specifically, it was a good thing you did there.
And Sombra makes these motions puts her hand up to her ear. Come again. These horses are very loud. If you just speak in common, I'll understand you better.
Lowen gonna continue because from the way someone reacted earlier, Lowen has a feeling that she doesn't understand. So, but he's gonna continue, and he's gonna be like, "I said it was a good thing that you did there. You throw quite a punch."
Sombra sort of shakes her head and responds in diabolic. Is this easier for you, perhaps?
He just sort of grins and goes like, "Well, not necessarily easier for me, but it sounds like it's easier for you. Why is that?"
I didn't get to know.
And you can tell even though he sounds like he's got an attitude, he looks genuinely curious as to why you're not able to speak Shadowtongue.
I think was able to speak it, she continues in diabolic. But I was forced to forget it and learn this instead.
Well, if we are somehow going to spend more time together, I'd be more than willing to teach you.
Sombra looks like she's going to have a snarky response, but you just see her actively reset her mouth and after the long day we had yesterday, you know what? I wouldn't be opposed to that. Thanks for offering.
No problem. You would be a valuable asset to have.
I'm also very expensive.
Yeah. Well, so are my lessons. But I think we can find middle ground on that. Can we not?
We could.
Good. And I think he will say in Shadowtongue, if we will first say in Diabolic, I will teach you your first word. And then in Shadowtongue, he says, deal. And he just goes, that means deal.
And you see Sombra hesitantly respond, deal.
We'll figure it out, it's fine.
If you ever want to learn how to speak with your fists, that's going to be very, very, very expensive. But as you can tell, I have very high qualifications.
Yes, well, I prefer not to get my hands dirty in that way.
You don't know what you're missing.
I'm sure it can be very cathartic, but I don't think it's my thing.
Valid.
Before we properly part ways with the rest of the group, Geneva and Ariel, who's on the back of her horse, ride up next to Zekun.
Get a room!
And Geneva sort of looks hesitantly. Zekun, thank you. I know you didn't have to do this, and we really appreciate the Pleat's support.
What is your ultimate goal with all of this?
Like I told you back at Fitzio's yesterday, we want to make West Crown a better place, and that includes the Hold. It can't be a better place without including the Hold.
Is the way to that better place paved with violence?
If they're gonna fight us, we're gonna fight back.
You will. You fight back. They will fight back against you. So you find more people, and they fight back. They bring in more. I don't think I have to continue this parable, do I?
Ariel says, I understand the concern you have for more violence, and we want to avoid that too. It's not in our nature, and he indicates him and Genevan, to shy away from a fight, especially a just one.
You realize you say that to an orc of the Hold. It's not really in our nature to shy away from it. I've lived my life going from fight to fight. But my people have come here for peace, Genevan. We have come here because we have paid our tribute in blood and in death, fighting against an enemy that would envelop these lands if he could. I trust that you want the best for your people, but I guess you also understand that I want the best for my people. I don't judge you. I understand your logic. One should not lie down when the boot is on one's throat. But I have to think about what this means for my people.
Well, but Genevan sort of stutters and Ariel interrupts. Then take your time, Zekun, Ariel says. But I hope that you and I and Genevan and Ravaja can have another conversation in the future that's more peaceful than the one you tried to have yesterday. I wanted to be there. My apologies.
That is very kind of you. I think the odds are very low that our next conversation will be interrupted by an escape into the sewers. Otherwise, I would be rather surprised.
They sort of smile and nod, and that's that. Okay,
Clip clop, clip clop.
Clip clop, clip clop. The city gates, the western gates.
While we're riding along, can I cast a focus spell, Cornucopia? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Who's hurt?
You.
I am hurt.
It's just you.
Zekun, are you hurt from casting that spell or not?
Not in a way that Cornucopia can heal.
Okay, well, I'll cast the Cornucopia spell and I'll look at you and I'll like, that magic takes from you, doesn't it?
In a way, all magic takes from whoever uses it.
I'll offer you a berry.
Well, I guess not all magic takes. Yours seems to give.
Yes, it does.
That thing in the letter of the mayor
Mm,
about the Rigo Cater.
yeah.
You live there. And the Leshies, right?
I actually I don't think I live there. I live in Krua or Screeper.
Southeast Rego Scripa. It's not. There's no marker on the map for it yet.
Yeah, I was looking at the map.
It's like the one place we don't have
Okay.
location for because we haven't been there yet.
Right.
But that is where I think I don't know what to call it yet. In my mind, it's been Little Mwangi, which I don't love.
No. No, I live in Rego Screeper, but I have strong ties to the Leshi community in Rego Cater. And that letter is a concern, a big concern.
If the Leshi are not safe there in the Rego Cater, the Pleat will welcome them.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
We're new arrivals in this city. The Leshies, you and I. We should stick together.
I agree. Our ideals align, and I could see, we've spoken before, the pain that you've gone through, and you just want somewhere to call home and for it to be peaceful, which is what you've been promised. And now, after the recent information, that's been turned on its head.
To be perfectly fair, Nico, I'm of an age where I'm not naive. Peace does not come freely. Peace is something one works for.
Mm.
I might have been just hoping that we're not drawn into this direction. We'll talk about that later. And if you were to come with the Leshies, could you maybe ask the Leshies to grow some arms and hands? I noticed that your companion doesn't really have hands.
No, Fugo does not have hands. You're right.
It's kind of he's really adorable. I really like you, Fugu. You're great, but it looks a little bit
It's a little rude to point out that no one's got ends.
Oh, gee, well, I didn't mean anything by it. It was just, it's like,
Hey,
look, forget what I
The little
said.
mushroom person is frowning at you.
Nature takes all forms, so we just have to accept sometimes that people look a little different.
I could have hands if I wanted to.
That's right, you can have hands.
That's a fair point.
It's just today I chose not to.
Yeah, do you need hands? Today you don't need hands? No, see?
They shake their mushroom cap head.
Sometimes you have handless days. That's a fair point. And Zekun eats the berry that Nico provided and tosses him a quick smile.
Nice.
So I think their group might go ahead. So maybe we've hung back and have had one of these conversations during that time. And eventually, after like 10-15 minutes, you ride up and we can see the western gate in Rego Krua. The Datari are manning it, but they don't check people going in and out of the city or anything like that. They're just looking for suspicious activity, and at the moment you don't register as one of those.
Not suspicious.
Following the directions that Gorvio gave you, you head to a place known as Jacovo's Stables. It's actually, those who live in the Krua have probably walked past it before because it's literally in between the Pleat and Lowen's flat, so it's in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And as you sort of ride up, you see a man who kind of looks like Gorvio. Balding dark hair, big mustache that like grows over his top lip. And he's arguing with a much younger, much more well-dressed blonde man with like pale white skin and wearing like this red cloak with a high collar, very chellish And as you ride up, you hear the older man, Jacovo, saying, I don't know what to tell you, but I ain't got the horses. Here they are. And the blonde guy turns around and with these piercing Hollywood blue eyes says, finally. Do you realize I had these horses on reserve?
No.
Nope, but all yours now, I guess.
Just look at them. They're all winded and sweaty. What have you been doing?
Oh, riding them, as is custom.
Right.
Talking to them?
I demand that you bathe these horses before my performance tonight.
Well,
I'm sorry, who are you?
yeah, Lowen's also like, I think Lowen sort of like, it's like, I'm so glad I don't have to deal with these kind of people daily anymore, like internally. Like he's like, oh my god, I'm so glad that, you know.
Is this person recognizable? Do we recognize this amazing at all?
So he like shakes his hair back and says, I am Thessing Umbero Olvano. And everyone can make a society check.
Please.
Can I make a pronunciation check?
Yeah, can I get it written down somewhere?
Yes, I will write it
Do I
down.
get any bonuses if he's from like high society or anything?
You haven't been in high society
True, for a while. That's true.
The hell? Sombra rolled a 19.
Someone's really into theatre.
Yeah.
No, she's not. Please, she's not.
What performance, though?
She probably used some poster as like emergency toilet paper and just recognizes it that way. Please.
I've seen that face somewhere before.
On my ass.
You actually all... Sombra's seen the face with that 19, the best one, but everyone else definitely recognizes his name. First off, Olvano. Lowen, you do know that Olvano is not a major family, but they are...
A minor, like Siphons.
Exactly.
Deal.
They're a minor family in liege to a major family, the Rosales
The
specifically.
Rosales, okay.
But the rest of you recognize that Thessing Umbero Olvano is
Love that accent, that pronunciation. It's amazing.
he's actually a rising star in the opera scene in West Crown.
Oh.
And is very much like a local actor. You can tell it's gone to his head quite a little
Marble
bit.
likes a bit of that kind of stuff. Would she recognize him?
Yeah.
She's like, is she mad that we're talking shit?
I'm so sorry. I haven't I was listening to Timeout Editor. I was listening to today's episode and I was like, God, my accent for her is shit. And I didn't practice
we
it
had this
at
whole
all.
conversation. I turned to Marble.
I need some water.
Marble, you're into all this stuff. Do you recognize him?
God, that's Thessing? Oh, she can't even speak.
Well played.
Wait, above table real quick, is this someone, because I'm sorry, I'm not, but is this someone who was there already? Like when Lowen said, that's when or is this like a new person?
You just recognize the name. I mean, it's possible you had been in circles, but that was also years ago.
I was more so, I think more Lowen's worried about him being recognized.
Right,
that's
right.
the problem.
Spoiler, sweetie.
Yeah.
But so no, you don't recognize him beyond
Okay, cool.
the name
Cool.
that he's this rising star. And Sombra, you know that impromptu performance tonight, with which you used as toilet paper, that poster, is a performance of The Elopement of the Dowager Princess, and features a scene wherein the princess and her handsome lover, played by, of course, Thessing Umbero Olvano, they flee the city pursued by the king's horsemen.
I have seen your face indeed. It was very glossy and high fiber count, I believe it was.
It doesn't surprise me that a young lady such as yourself would recognize this handsome visage.
This young lady will excuse herself from washing your horses as Sombra walks past and hands the reins over to the stable hand.
Yeah, you're welcome. They're broken in for you.
I don't require broken-in horses. Did one of my rivals put you up to this, perhaps?
Rivals.
Oh.
Which one?
Yes.
I'm
No,
gonna give some
absolutely.
names.
You know what? Yeah.
I am one of the greatest tenors this city has ever seen.
Oh, really? Sing a ditty.
Right.
I'm saving my voice for this evening.
This is Aida bullying Krifu, nothing else.
Let's just make Krifu have marble and this guy talking to her the entire time.
Yeah.
Well, look, why do you need more than one horse anyway? You're only one fella.
The scene requires, naturally, multiple horses for the believability that I and my lover, the Dowager Princess herself, are fleeing the Kingsmen.
Wait,
And
but
on
then...
such short notice, I could only find such peasant horses, but alas, they were not available to me when I needed them.
Cover the ears of the nearest horse.
And why
listen to
exactly? And why exactly is this your job to do? Because you are the star, correct? Why do you have to provide the props? Sounds like they
Yeah,
don't
weird
really
that they said
respect
you have
your
to pick up some
status.
horses.
Ooh, Lowen, I feel like it's not posed as a threat per se. Mm-hmm. What social check would you like to use on this?
He's just trying to get on his nerves. That's all he's trying to do.
what
He's
skill
trying to
is
piss
that?
him
Like intimidation?
I don't know if it's intimidation.
It's funny because all of this, the social checks are made to like make someone more pliable, I suppose.
Yeah.
But you're trying to make a social check in reverse.
To piss him off.
No, we will require a social check for it
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
I'll turn to Tissing Ambero Ulvano. And I'll say, hey, they are a bit sweaty, but they're great horses. Very strong and noble steeds. I hope you're going to look after them during the time that you have them. And if so, I'll get them ready for you straight away.
Okay. Nico, make a diplomacy check.
Diplomacy. I'd like to use a hero point on that.
I rolled for that 7.
Totally.
Go ahead.
Got a 7. That is a 19.
There we go. Finally, someone who knows how to appease a divo's whims.
Flint snorts. Still on the horse.
Those eyebrow twitches.
Yeah, Nico's hard eye rolling, just not in his direction. But, like, of course.
And he nods and says, turns to Jacovo and begins like giving him the payment as required, and sort of begins to just ignore the rest of you now that he's gotten his way.
Okay. And I'll turn to the horses and use prestidigitation to clean them up. So, but I'll kind of use the brush and speak gently to them as I'm doing it, but I'll be doing it magically, so it's like super quick.
Jacovo is there with you with the brush, and he's like, "Are you looking for a job?
I am not.
You certainly could get one.
Oh, thanks. No,
I'd be happy to have you on my team."
I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. I just have a way with animals and plants and stuff.
I've seen you around here. You got that food cart.
That's right. Yeah.
You ever think about adding meat to the menu?
Never. No.
Well, all right.
Have you tried one of my smoothies? If you think meat is great, you are gonna love one of these. It's so full of protein. You won't know. You're gonna feel full and strong and energized. You'll get a good night's sleep.
The idea of an advert, like, if you like meat, try this smoothie. Is such a flex.
I'm trying to just move them away from meat.
He's making like a very confused face.
Hey, don't worry about it. But try one of my smoothies sometime. You'll love it.
All right. Well, thank you for bringing the horses back, and tell I'll let Gorvio know that you did it nicely and respectfully. And he kind of like looks at Thesing and like shakes his head and like kind of rolls his eyes.
Sure, no problem.
After Thesing takes the horses away without even a second glance at any of you.
Damn.
Yeah, I'll turn to the party and be like, we're meant to be keeping a low profile. Shouldn't just be winding people up. I thought we were
Sorry,
meant
was it directed at me?
sort of at the group,
Everyone.
but
Okay.
but specifically Lowen.
I feel like you started like, I think Lowen was in the process as the guy sort of walked up. He was about to reach to pat his shoulder to put some kind of kick me sigil on the back. And then you start speaking to him and he just pulls his hand back. And he just
Nico's doing that thing where he's talking to a group, but he's talking to you.
Yeah, I think he would just go like, well, he did deserve it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. He was an asshole.
Yes. Well, let's get out of here.
But let's not make more complications for ourselves. Been a pretty complicated day already.
Fine.
And Marble was still with us, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, your name was Marble, correct?
I'm Marble. Yeah, I live at the Archon's Anthology. I'm Flint's sister. She's kind of like...
Nice to meet you, Marble.
It's nice to meet you, Marble, and I'm sorry for what you went through, regardless of how it happened. You've been through a lot.
It's alright. Them hellknights, they've always been giving the Anthology problems.
The library your brother mentioned.
She nods.
Listen, it's been an experience. It's unfortunate that anyone has to go through it. Not going to help, but treat yourself to one of the tickets for that show. You seem to really like that kind of stuff. And Summer will pull out one of her silvers and hand it to Marble.
Oh, Flint, can we?
Yeah. Shit. Cheers, Summer. Really appreciate it.
It's for her, but sure.
Oh, it's for her. Oh, that's just the one. Sorry, I'm so sorry. I've got
it's for
big
her
job.
to do whatever she wants to do with it.
She grabs your arm and begins to twist it behind your back.
There's a brief moment where they wrestle because as two large girls, they do tend to be a little bit physical. So there's a brief moment where he goes, "All right, fine. I'll go to see Oivaro." What was
The
it?
elopement of the Dowager Princess.
Right, yeah,
Facing
great.
Umberto Olvano.
Okay, grand. Cheers, Sombra. Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Say thank you.
Thank you.
You're very welcome, and I hope you don't go through something like that again. Sincerely.
She nods. Everybody stands and looks at each other in a circle.
It's like,
Hey,
I think
yeah.
we should head back.
We're going to be heading back to the...
Yeah, I want to be part of that debrief.
well, I got to get my food cart from Fitzio's.
And no offense, but I don't know how much more in I can get. Don't worry. You got my silence. But I've got a job to do, and I'll get my sister home safe.
That makes sense. I'm also trying to catch up with, well, the person I left at the shrine.
Oh, the wee lad. Yeah.
Yes.
Should we make a time or and a place that we should all catch up and maybe chat about what's happened? If you want to.
Sure. Sounds like a solid plan. Why don't you bring your food cart around? I did enjoy the dinner the other day.
With pleasure.
Is it heavy? Would it go faster if I pulled it for you?
Yeah, it would go a lot faster.
Then I'm gonna head to the shrine. I need to hear the debrief. I enjoyed your food. I'll pull it for you, and we'll go fast. You can even ride it if you want.
Oh, well, you don't have to go that far, but no, I appreciate that. Thanks, Sombra.
So I guess I'm gonna see most of you. She looks around at the shrine.
Zekun, what's your plan?
I have to check in at the Pleat. Thank you for this operation. And he just looks at all of you and heads off without clearly declaring if he's going to be at the shrine or not.
Oh, what a... Oh.
Yeah. I think Flint sees and goes and snorts and says, yeah, well, like I said, we've got to get back as well. Good luck with your operations.
Hey, Zekun, can I come to the Pleat? Is that all right?
He just gives you, as he walks away, he gives you a thumbs up and wanders further off.
I love how he did the sort of thumbs up emoji, but in fantasy, in sort of a physical gesture.
He followed it up with a ROFL emoji and everything.
Oh,
And
yeah.
Okay. It sounds like Nico is following after Zekun to the Pleat.
Sorry, can I just ask, who had the letter?
Sombra's got it.
Okay, cool.
But Summer's gonna head back to the shrine. But I understood that Dika wanted to also go to the shrine.
Nico was going to get his food cart, but
now he's going to
And
the
then
Pleat.
later.
Yeah, but he's changed his mind because He wants to go with Zikun, basically. He wants
Okay.
because that's important.
Yeah, Flint, before he leaves, it just wants to ask Sombra something. So he turns to Sombra and says, listen, Sombra, that letter we found earlier,
Yes.
I want to try and report this in, see if we can't get some boots on the ground. Would you mind handing over?
After our group gets to consider it first.
I can't make a report and get anything done without proof.
You'll have it, but they get to see it first and consider their actions first.
Flint closes his eyes, sighs, and then
It was them that helped free your sister and Ariel.
it was you that helped me with my scenario. But I appreciate your sentiment. Look, I'm heading back to the Archons. You guys have fun doing what you're doing. Come on, Marble. Let's go.
Bye.
Bye, thank you.
Have a good one, Marble. Stay safe.
So Flint and Marble make their way back to Archon's Anthology. Sombra and Lowen make their way back to the Shrine of Eridan. And Nico is chasing after Zekun as we see the orcish pennants on the hold of West Crown sort of waving in the morning air, and the camera fades to black. And that's where we'll leave it this time.
Boom!
Cool. Awesome.
We split the party. Yay.
Yeah, we're gonna go full World of Darkness the next episode with split scenes.
Yeah,
everywhere.
just everything split scenes.
Yep.
Tumble Through presents Twilight's Edge, a Pathfinder 2nd Edition actual play of the Council of Thieves adventure path, converted from Pathfinder 1st Edition. Tumble Through uses trademarks and/or copyrights owned by Paizo Inc. used under Paizo's fan content policy, paizo.com/licenses/fan content. Tumble Through is not published, endorsed, or specifically approved by Paizo. For more information about paizo.com and Paizo products, visit paizo.com.